Thank you, Judy, and members of the Toastmasters Association, going back to the 80s and coming forward to the 2013 years. Let me just say something about Toastmasters to start with. We started that in the Senate because there was a lot of people interviewing for jobs, and they needed to know how to present their facts and how to present themselves in a good fashion. So at least in the compliance division, I don't know about the processing. I didn't fool with those things. But anyway, I started with IRS in 1967. Many of you probably were still in school then. So, but I became a revenue agent after 13 weeks of training in Atlanta. I came back and I examined tax returns, examined individual returns, partnership returns, employment tax returns, corporate returns, 1120S's, 1041s, which is the fiduciary returns, and also employment tax and excise tax returns. So back in the old days, they trained us to do a little bit of everything. And probably we did very few, some of the things, but lots of the others. But anyway, what I did was I went out and did field examinations, conducted those examinations, prepared a report, discussed it with the taxpayer and their representative, and then ended up making a presentation to them to either accept it or not accept it. And that's basically what we did. And of course, most of the returns come over to the service center, some service center to close them. And when I was in Memphis doing this, they closed it in the Memphis Service Center. The Memphis Service Center was a new center at that time. It was not like the Cincinnati Center or something. Anyway, in addition to that, I did several criminal investigations. This is the one where we examine people, perform the criminal investigation, and they end up deciding are they going to prosecute this person or not. But my job was to work with the special agents and go out and meet with the taxpayer and or their representative, get all the data necessary either to decide to prosecute the case or not. And most of the cases were prosecuted. In addition to that, during that time that I was in Nashville, I was requested to become the Nashville District Employment Tax Coordinator, and I was still in Memphis because Memphis was part of the Nashville District. And that entailed developing a program to teach revenue agents to examine employment tax returns. Employment tax returns were something new to revenue agents, so we had no training material. It was something we just looked at, and most times didn't know what we were looking at, because we just had to estimate was it right or wrong or what have you. And we did not have any idea how to say what was an independent contractor and what was not an independent. But we did that, and I participated in development of that course material. Then in '72, I moved to Nashville, become the Nashville District Coordinator, which I took the regional plans, implemented them in the district, divided up amongst all the groups in the district, and then trained the revenue agents in their districts how to examine these returns. And I did it so well that they made me a group manager in '79, or a time after that. And I had 17 revenue agents under me, a secretary, and what these revenue agents would do is go out and examine returns. We kept timesheets on every case, we kept files on every case, and we had all paper at that time. We did not have electronic stuff. Electronic stuff came when I was in the center in the 80s. But anyway, we ended up getting that information to me. I had to review it, either accept it, give it back to them, have to do it over, or do something else, or meet with the taxpayer. And then when we got through, we'd send it in, somebody would do a review, and then it'd be sent to the service center for processing. Either be an agreed case or an unagreed case. An unagreed case, and they had a chance to protest it and go to appeals. And they go from appeal, they go to court if appeal sustains the revenue. That's basically what happens. And in I think it's April of 1979, I moved to Cincinnati as a senior regional analyst. This position entailed me overseeing about, we had 6 or 7 senior analysts, and we oversaw the large case program, the industry specialist program, the computer program. At that time, we had computer specialists in the international program. And what that involved is the national office would develop a plan, send it to each region, come to our region, and we had six districts plus the center here, that we divided that plan up. They also sent us all their money and their resources. We take the resources and we dole it out to the district according to the plan. And some districts followed the plan, some didn't. So, and it was our job to go out and review what they did and what they didn't do, and then make recommendations to the district director. And have either district director agree with us or disagree with us. So it was just a matter of us making our presentation. Our reviews of the districts would normally take 1 to 2 weeks. And that's basically where we would end up, make those decisions, come back, and go on and do other things with other districts. We'd also coordinate with the national office, fight for resources, and resources not just staffing, it's also supplies, equipment, and everything else. So we were involved in that. We had oversight on that, to make sure that the district did what we needed to do. Then in 81, I came to the service center as the chief of compliance. And as chief of compliance, I managed collection branch, examination branch, and criminal investigation branch. And in the criminal investigation branch, we have helped develop the computerization of paper documents into computer words, sounds, and processes. So, and that was done mainly in this center, off the old schoolhouse down the street. And we had like facilities there. We had 32 or 42 input people that inputted this information for us, so that the investigator could just take the data, make the presentation, make their case, and then go on. Made it a lot simpler for them. In the exam branch, we did a lot of creative things. We created the 60/20B program. We also created the tax shelter program. Matter of fact, we had $33 million in refunds withheld. Got called on the carpet for that. That the region said, you can't do that. And I had to get counsel to give me a letter of approval and say, we could do it. So it was a good program. It probably still is. I hope it is. Well, I did that until '86, and then I went back to the district as the assistant regional executive assistant to the ARC exam. In fact, that time they had an exam, ARC, assistant regional commissioner exam, collection, and CI. So I went over to that region and took over that position, back in the region, but I was a senior analyst. Now I'm an executive assistant, and I manage all the people. Then from that position, I stayed there a number of years. I was sent to the district that became the EPEO, exempt organization, and pension plan chief in the Cincinnati district. And I did that for several years. Then the national office called me in and said, we're having a lot of trouble. In those days, all the requests for exempt organization and pension plans went to the 7 key districts. And there were thousands out there that waited years to get processed. And they asked me if I'd put it all together, and I took the time to put it all together by going to each district, visiting what they had, seeing what their problems were, coming back to the service center here and said, met with people, receipt and control, and y'all did such a damn good job of getting the money in. I says, we'd like to have everything come here. And so I asked processing to give me some people to help me develop a process for all that stuff to be transferred to Cincinnati Service Center and be processed and then sent out to the district for their work. And I did that, I guess, until 1997, when I said enough's enough. And I got tired of fighting the battle and then doing other things like that when I retired. But let me get back to the service center. We had 2 instances that are really interesting. You may not even know about this. In the 80s, we had a flood in Covington. We had 4 to 5 inches of water out there. I was out there mopping floors. All the division chiefs were required to come in. John Hummel was the director at the time. They all required to come in, clean up, areas. We only had one return in the examination range. No returns in collection, no returns in CI and stuff. I don't know what processing had. They didn't tell me. But anyway, but we did work as a team to get it all done and get it cleaned up. And this is not just the bad part. The worst part was the bathrooms, all the sewers back there. You couldn't stay in this place without a mask on. It was a hell of a mess. But we had even more fun in the 80s when the computer system in the national office says, we're going to put in a new system and it's going to work fast. And it didn't. We had to shut everything down for the computers and then start processing manually. And we had 2 people in processing. It took those 14 million pieces of paper that the computer generated and got us to processing manually. They set up a program for us because they knew how to do it. We came out of it very well. So I had a lot of good experience, had a lot of fun at Service Center, and I had a lot of opportunity in Toastmasters to learn how to speak. I haven't given a speech in 15, 20 years now. But I think what you need to do is just keep working at what your weak points are. Listen to people's constructive criticism. And if you don't like it, lump it or take it. And do it. Thank you.